gentlemen, our departure has been delayed.
Yes. Why are you so happy?
I'm watching the game.
Seriously?
Yeah, with NFL Plus.
Get live, local, and primetime games on mobile with NFL Plus.
Unfortunately, our flight has been delayed another hour.
NFL Plus. Keep the NFL in reach. New CBS tonight.
My daughter went missing last year. Whoever put that dress up there knows something.
TV's #1 show.
You do something to that little girl? Her daughter could still be alive.
Tracker is all new CBS tonight after 60 minutes. New CBS Friday. It's the new hit drama of the season.
Rob's got away with $200 grand.
These guys aren't done. They're gonna strike again.
Any of them dares mess with one of us, they're gonna be messing with all of us.
Sheriff Country is all new CBS Friday at 8, 7 Central. New CBS Thursday.
Used to be a supermodel.
Jamie Presley guest stars.
They may be stunning, but we can solve crimes.
Elsbeth is all new CBS Thursday, 10, 9 Central.
You surrender. Did Donald Trump run you out of town?
Marjorie Taylor Greene returns to 60 Minutes after falling out with President Trump. New tonight on CBS.
Now at 6, Hoosier fans still celebrating that Big Ten championship win. We are breaking down reaction from that game, plus the official college football playoff rankings.
And after a milder day, we're watching the temperatures now slide. We'll talk about who could see temperatures in the single digits.
The Colts lose in Jacksonville for a 10th straight year and lose Daniel Jones. Not good stuff today. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
Thanks for joining us for 13 News at 6. I'm Samantha Johnson in for Jenny Renovich. What a weekend to be a Hoosier. IU fans, they are still riding high after that win over Ohio State, taking that Big Ten football championship to Bloomington. And last night's game coming down to the very end, as you likely know, IU holding on to win this one 13-10 here in Indianapolis inside Lucas Oil Stadium. And the excitement there was almost hard to put into words. That's why we thought we'd show it to you instead. Take a look.
The Indiana Hoosiers are champions of the Big Ten.
Tonight's MVP of the Big Ten championship game, Fernando Mendoza.
We are champions!
Hoosiers! I said a 1, a 2, I give it a 1 to do.
Oh, so cool. And as good as that win felt for IU, we know head coach Curt Cignetti is never satisfied. And he is already looking ahead to the next challenge, the college football playoffs. And now we know that bracket is set on this selection Sunday. So take a look. IU took that top spot, Ohio State sitting at number 2. The drama of the day, though, Notre Dame not making the cut and then opting out of bowl game consideration. That's a big deal. We jumped down to the number 8 and 9 spot, Oklahoma and Alabama. One of those two teams will take on IU in the quarterfinals. That's the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. Coach Curt Cignetti saying the Hoosiers, they'll be ready.
No, we'll be ready when January 1st gets here. I mean, this is going to be a normal off week for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then once we know who our opponent is, pedal the metal.
So Alabama and Oklahoma, they play December 19th. The winner will take on the number 1 team in the nation, the Indiana Hoosiers. Let's talk about the Colts. They are on cursed ground today. It's been more than a decade since the team won in Jacksonville, and it looks like they're going to have to wait a little bit longer because today's game was not ideal. So our Dominic Miranda joins us in studio. Dom, the team we saw at the beginning of the season, where did they go?
I have no idea. That's an excellent question, but not ideal is a perfect way to describe this. It feels like the Colts are at a free fall right now. You know, by now it was an ugly loss down in Jacksonville, the 10th straight down there, and the Colts now 8-5. this season behind its third straight loss. So let's go through the game a bit before we get to the really bad that happened. First, Colts offensive play of the game picked off. Why not? How about that for a start? Great news. It only went downhill from here. A couple plays later, Travis Etienne would take advantage of the Colts turnover, punching it in for Jacksonville, just like that, 7-0. So not off to a good start. The good news, arguably the only good news of the day, Colts responded to this touchdown with a very lengthy drive of their own. It kind of felt like, all right, we're here. It's okay. There's a lot of third down conversions, a lot of good stuff right there. It's 7-7. Jonathan Taylor punching it in. We're tied. But here's where this game was decided, and really where the Colts season was decided. It's 14-7, Colts trailing end of the first quarter. Down goes Daniel Jones. Non-contact. Grabbing that right Achilles area. He tries to walk it off. Yeah, not happening. I'm not sure what you say to this point, all right? Tyrese Halliburton, Caitlin Clark, Daniel Jones now. Cursed. I don't want to speculate, but it's an Achilles injury. That much we know, and he did not return to the game. As you might imagine, the game went down from here. You see him slamming his helmet in frustration. He knows. We all know. It's not good. Jaguars scored twice more in the first half, going into the locker room on top 28-10. Final score in this one was 36-19. It's the Colts' third straight loss this season, fourth loss in its last 5 games, 8-5 now on the season, clinging onto a wild card spot right now. And I just want to note, though, that Riley Leonard finished the game for the Colts, all right? Anthony Richardson's still recovering from his orbital fracture injury. Leonard performed admirably. He most certainly did. But the win was taken out of the sails for the Colts, all right? Again, the Colts are 8-5. A lot of questions. We're going to hear from Shane Steichen tonight at 11, but a no good, very bad day for Colts fans. There's no doubt about it. And these next 4 games are not easy, all right? They're going to Seattle, one of the best teams in football, home for Monday Night Football against the San Francisco 49ers. You're hosting Jacksonville. You're going to Houston. Hard to find a win in there. Okay, I hate to say it, but it feels like they're in free fall. We'll hear from Shane Steichen tonight.
Okay. More to
Live from our Central Indiana studios, this is the CBS 4 News.
And thanks for joining us here for the CBS 4 News at 6 as we take a live look from the interstate in our downtown camera. Another mild day after a bitter cold week last week. And we are tracking some warmer temps this week before a huge cool down next weekend. Thanks for joining us. I'm Max Lewis. Let's get over to meteorologist Tyler Ryan, who's got all the details in your forecast first at 6. Hi, Tyler.
Hey, Max. Last week, the big...
Tyler, thank you. Stepping into your Colts Blue Zone now, the curse continues. The Colts getting beat by the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road for now the 10th year in a row. The team's playoff prospects in question, as is quarterback Daniel Jones, whose Achilles injury could put him out for the rest of the season. CBS 4 Sports Director Chris Whitlick here now with all the details. Chris, just an overall disappointing day for Colts fans.
I say never play in Jacksonville again.
Yeah.
Just get them off the
Let's
schedule.
do it.
Maybe that's the best thing to do. Every Colt fan knows about that Jacksonville jinx, but it got even uglier today with not only another defeat at the hands of the Jaguars in the battle for first, but as Max said, they may have lost their quarterback for the season. Rough start for Steichen's squad. A Daniel Jones INT turns into a Jaguar TD. The Colts responded. Best drive of the day, 77 yards. Jonathan Taylor finishes. We are tied at 7. But later in the first, Daniel Jones goes down on this drop back, a non-contact injury, and not the left leg that has a fibula injury. Jones immediately knows what happened. He is out. The Colts calling it an Achilles injury. Meantime, the Colts defense really struggled. Travis Etienne bolts 28 yards for what turned out to be the game-clinching score at 21-7. The Colts are clobbered in the end, 36-19. It's their 4th loss in the last 5.
As you go through a season, you're going to go through some storms and some adversity, and you got to overcome those. That's part of being a professional athlete and the coach and stuff, and staying steady through that process and keep believing and fighting like crazy. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to fight like crazy and believe, and we know that we got a big one coming up on the road.
Yeah, but things not looking up for the Colts.
No.
Now out of first place for the first time all season long. Quarterback issue up in the air. Who knows what's going to happen at this point? Is it going to be Riley Leonard? Is Anthony Richardson going to return this year? This is just crazy. It's typical Colts quarterback chaos. It just never seems to end, does it?
Well, if we have to look for the bright point here, you got
Better
your
news.
red on here. The IU, the Crimson, they had a big win last night, and so they're now moving into the college football playoff. We got those results today.
Yeah, and Alexa Ross has that story from down in Bloomington. Great stuff.
Indiana is back in the college football playoff, this time as the #1 seed in the country after getting a big win over Ohio State on Saturday night. Head coach Curt Cignetti is thrilled for his program and says they have a lot to look forward to coming up.
We've got a lot of time here. We're going to meet with the team tomorrow at 4. We won't practice tomorrow. And, we'll be in normal off-week mode here for almost 2 weeks, week and a half, before we find out who our opponent actually is, and then go into game plan mode. So we'll have them where we want them. I mean, we got great character kids and leadership on this team, and I have absolutely no question we'll be ready to play. We're Big Ten champs. Beat the number 1 ranked team in the country, beat the number 2 ranked team in the country at the time on the road. Proud of what we've accomplished.
Indiana will face the winner of number 8 Oklahoma and number 9 Alabama in the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. Reporting with the Hoosiers, I'm Alexa Ross.
A season with so much promise, perhaps championship aspirations, brought to an abrupt end with a serious injury to a star player. The Pacers, the Fever, and now it seems the Colts. Sunday's loss to Jacksonville will sting in the standings, but the short-term and long-term future of quarterback Daniel Jones seemed to be in question after exiting Sunday's game early. We knew Jones had been playing with a fibula injury of some sort in his left leg the past couple weeks, but toward the end of the first quarter in Jacksonville, Jones goes down and immediately grabs the lower part of his right leg. Clearly frustrated, something immediately had gone wrong. Trainers take a long look, and Jones eventually limped off. Turns to be an Achilles injury. And so rookie Riley Leonard quickly thrust into the role of leading the Indy offense. He managed things as well as he could given the situation. Leonard was able to make some plays to get the Colts into a couple of field goal situations. He also ran for a score in the final 2 minutes of the game. But the Jaguars did their damage early in the day. Travis Etienne Jr. with a pair of touchdown runs. Trevor Lawrence threw for 2 more. At the end, the Jaguars come away with a 36-19 win, Indy's 10th straight loss down there. So the AFC South League goes to Jacksonville with 4 weeks remaining. Houston can pull ahead of Indy with a win tonight for the final wild card spot. The Texans play in Kansas City. The Colts and Jags play again at Lucas Oil Stadium in Week 17. With every win over the last 2 years, the IU football program has all at once surprised so many people and continued to improve and impress. Saturday night's win over Ohio State would previously have been thought improbable, but now it's clear that the Hoosiers are every bit of a national title contender. IU's first Big Ten championship game victory, 13-10 at Lucas Oil Stadium, the first time in 80 years that Indiana stands alone as the Big Ten Conference champions. On Sunday, the College Football Playoff Committee set the Hoosiers as the number 1 seed of the 12-team playoff field. It was clear after finishing the regular season undefeated that Indiana would be getting at least a first-round bye. But that hard-fought win over the Buckeyes will put the Hoosiers on top of the bracket.
Second time through, you're always better. This one's a little different because you got a little more time off. But like every other experience from our first year, the returners all learn from those. We're Big Ten champs. Beat the number 1 ranked team in the country, beat the number 2 ranked team in the country at the time on the road. Proud of what we've accomplished.
Ohio State's loss only drops them to the number 2 seed. SEC champ Georgia at 3 and Big 12 champion Texas Tech, the 4 seed, round out the CFP's first-round byes. The other prize for IU is a trip to the Rose Bowl, the first time since 1967 that the Hoosiers will play New Year's Day in Pasadena, California. Their quarterfinal CFP opponent will be either Oklahoma or Alabama. Those teams slotted at 8 and 9. They will play in the opening round on December 19th.
We'll treat the first half of this just like any off week. We'll practice enough to stay sharp, get the rest and recovery in, get the weights in. And then once we figure out who we're going to play, which will be, Friday night, the 19th, I think, then we'll be able to kind of hone in and go into game plan mode and game plan practice mode.
The other notable selection from the CFP, Notre Dame, is out. Miami gets the 10 seed and the final at-large spot. The Fighting Irish announcing they will not play in a bowl game after being left out of the playoff field. Well, more reaction from the Hoosiers coming up on Monday. Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.